Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Warframe. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and salutations. Today, part 2. Let's get to it. So the second part of the Nightwave Series 3, the Glassmaker, is now available. That means that the second crime scene can be looked at and observed, and you can look for the clues there. Much like the first one, your clues are going to be personalized. Unlike the last time, they have since updated it where you only need 5 cephalite to work on the puzzle. Of course, the reason to do this is to progress the story a little bit so you learn a little bit more about what's going on. Additionally, doing the puzzle successfully will net you 7,000 Nightwave standing points. So getting up and getting closer to 30, or getting that prestige level after 30, is just icing on the cake. So when you go into the crime scene, you're going to look for the different clues. Much like the last time, they're going to be on or near the ground. This time, I think most of the clues are close to the lockers, either that or next to the benches. There's one that's on the bench, ones that are under the bench, and you'll see in this video at least the location of where these clues are at. So unlike before, where it was relatively obvious when you saw something on the ground, you knew it was a clue, this time around there are other things on the ground that are not clues. Now, like before, you will need to remember certain things about these different clues. One of the big ones is the helmet. Now, you'll want to remember what the helmet looks like, because everyone will get a helmet, but all the helmets look slightly different. So when you get to that part of the puzzle, you'll have to remember exactly what your helmet looks like. Now, once you know the location of the different clues, you can always go back and look at those clues again to remind yourself of the important part of it. Now, the parts that you need to remember, the certain words or numbers, those will be slightly highlighted, so when you're looking at it, you'll know that is the thing that you'll have to remember. So maybe you weren't paying that close attention the first time around, second time around, you know. Just like if it is only a picture or only a helmet, then you know you have to remember what that looks like. So when it comes up, there's going to be several variations of it in the puzzle. And, it's designed to trip you up. If you don't remember really well and you're on a 60-second timer, you're going to run out of time. It's not like you can take screenshots of it and look back at the screenshots. You don't really have the time to do that. You have to look at your options and then choose the option that is yours and start moving. Otherwise, you're not going to have enough time to get through all of the puzzle. Now, you can hold a total of 20 cephalite. So if you are missing your 5 cephalite to make an attempt at the puzzle, then you can either go into a mission or you can go into Orvalis. Get that 1, 2, or 3 alarm going, have the reinforcements come, when or after Nora says that there's glass resonance in the area, and then take him out. More than likely, you have about a 50% chance of getting a cephalite drop from these glass enemies. So if you don't have the cephalite, it's relatively easy to get, and if you do have enough, then obviously it's no big deal. You may want to have 10 cephalite, so if something happens the first time around, you'd be like, oh, I know what I did wrong, and just go back right away and then go ahead and do the puzzle right again while it's still fresh in your memory. So once you get into the puzzle, you will have that picture where there's some scribbling on top of it, and you'll have to remember what yours looks like. And the order is not necessarily going to be the same, but just knowing it will help you out. The helmet, you'll have to remember what the helmet looks like. There are different variations, so you'll have to remember what the front looks like. So you don't have to remember the whole thing, just the front. You'll have to remember the planet from the badge, and then you'll have to remember the word that was on the tablet, and you'll also have to remember the number. And remember, all the words or numbers, those are going to be slightly highlighted on the pieces that have the words. All those pieces of evidence that have a bunch of words on them. Usually there's one part that is highlighted and it looks slightly different than the rest. So if you're looking for it, then you'll notice it, but if you're not really aware, then you could completely miss it. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.
Fiber jockey. If I know my corpus script, this one had serious technical chops.
Oh dear, we meet again. I really am in the middle of something. Look at the chaos that's spewing. Broken laws, a broken heart in Northland, and a collapsed family empire. Everyone is guilty of the good they did not do. If one only looks. And I see everything. What to do. What to do.
Been nagging at me. The word legum. That Oracan word for law. I put the feelers out. My network, little ducks, the quills. Dreamer, I think I know who the Glassmaker is. Or who he was. Nahil. Every Seth you ever met was once a person. Before they met him, he made them all. For them. For the Oracan. As a punishment that would never end. Now that Vondu's built him that broadcaster, he's looking to graduate from murder to mass murder. Nahil's gonna go wide.